What's up, Ducks fans? I'm here with the final Ducks diary of the 2015-2016 regular season, and it's pretty weird already being at the last home game of this regular season. Tonight is fan appreciation night against the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets come into the game 32, 39, and 8, so they are probably going to be the easiest opponent, or the easiest game we have left on our regular season schedule for this year. The Ducks come into the game at 44, 24, and 10. With the Kings having lost to Vancouver last night in regulation, the Ducks have a chance. With a win tonight, should we get 2 points, we will have a chance on Thursday. That game at Staples Center against the Kings, we will have a chance in that game to clinch the Pacific Division crown. And that's pretty insane. It's pretty crazy, but that's how the math works out. Really, we have 4 games left. The Kings have 3 games left. With the way that it's looking right now, even if the Kings beat us in regulation on Thursday, we could still win the division if we just win the rest of our games. So we are in very, very good shape. Now, of course, that's, assuming the Kings even want to win the division. I mean, obviously, winning the division is never a bad thing, but I will say it has looked like the Kings have been tanking recently almost. And I'm not saying they're deliberately losing. I don't know. I haven't been watching their games, so I don't know. But they have not looked as good lately. And it's interesting. Maybe they've decided they want the Sharks rather than the Predators, because the way that the playoff picture is shaping up right now, barring a very improbable turn of events, the Pacific Division winner will play Nashville in the first round, and then the other team to finish second will play the Sharks. It's looking like that's going to be the setup. And, maybe the Kings have chosen the Sharks. I don't know. And as a Ducks fan, the Sharks and the Predators are both a scary proposition. I don't think it's smart, though, to ever choose your opponent in the playoffs, because it can always come back to bite you if you deliberately lose, to get to a certain position, and then that team beats you. You look like fools. But obviously, we don't know if the Kings are doing that or not. There's no proof of that. I'm just saying, we don't know if they even want to win the division. We assume they do, just like we assume the Ducks do. So I obviously want the Ducks to win the division. It would be pretty awesome to get a 4th straight division crown. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's not something that you necessarily hang your hat on. It's not something that it's like, oh, well, we won the division, so it's okay that we lost in the playoffs. I'd rather have the Stanley Cup, than all 4 of, should we win the division this year, all, 4 in a row of the division crowns that we would have won. I'd rather just win the Cup one of those 4 years. So, obviously that's like so much more important than division titles. But should you lose in the playoffs, at the end of the day, if you win the division, at least you can say, well, we did win the division. I mean, it is something that is, a show of success. So, I definitely don't mind if the Ducks win the division. So, the playoff picture, though, is definitely taking shape. I wanted to kind of talk about it right now because this is the last video I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a video before the playoffs begin or not, or if I'm just going to start up. Next video will be, hey, Ducks' first home playoff game. Here we go. So I'll see if I do a playoff episode or not, just that's kind of like talking about the playoffs. But in terms of tonight's game, like I said, it is fan appreciation night against the Jets. I'm pretty excited. We have a new thing, the PK horns. So Kent French took us to, I guess it was called Horn School, on the Jumbotron over the last few home games, and basically the Ducks are introducing a PK horn for our games, where once the Ducks kill off a penalty successfully, the fans blow the PK horn. So if you all have missed that, like if you haven't heard about that, then that's what it's going to be for. And supposedly, I believe we all get one tonight, all the fans in attendance. So that's cool. Some good news on the injury front. Simon Dupré will play tonight, which I'm extremely happy about. I believe he's one of our better defenders, our better defensemen. And also, Freddie skated today, so that is huge. And Bruce said there's a chance he will start a game before the playoffs begin, so that is extremely good news. I didn't know much. I just knew he had a concussion. I'm like, who knows how long he could be out. So I'm very happy to hear that he skated and is expected to possibly make a start before the playoffs, so that would be amazing. So injury-wise, things are looking a lot better. Obviously, we still have some significant ones, but things are definitely looking better. So with Dupre back in the lineup, our defense pairings appear to be Fowler-Dupre, Vatanen Stoner, and Manson-Lindholm, which is very solid. So obviously, we're still waiting on BXA, but it's very solid the way it should be set up for tonight. I decided to wear my Ryan Kessler jersey for our final home game of the season. So as I was talking about last episode, if it gets the win tonight, it'll be probably my backup playoff jersey should my Orange Perry jersey start losing in the playoffs. So if it loses tonight, though, I guess I'll have to figure it out, but that's my current plan. And I think the Ducks are going to win tonight's game. The Jets still haven't beaten us since we swept them last year in the first round of the West playoffs, the Western Conference first round. And, I imagine, even though they're out of the playoff picture, that, they're going to play us tough tonight. I'm sure that they want to beat us before this year is over, before this season is over. So I imagine they're going to play us pretty tough tonight. I don't think it's going to come easy. I did say it's probably going to be the easiest game left on our schedule, just because, the next game's the Kings fighting us for the division. After that, it's Colorado, who might still be fighting for their hockey lives. And then after that, it's the Capitals one day later across the country. And they may be resting up for the playoffs, but they also might not be. They might rest before that game. And that game, they might say, hey, we're not going to rest now because we want to get ready. The Ducks are a perfect team for us to practice against going into the first round of the playoffs, which at that point will just be a few days away. So tonight very well could be our easiest game left, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So I do think the Ducks are going to win, but it's going to be hard fought. And I'm going to say that we pull out a... I guess a 3-2 victory. I feel like I've been predicting that score a lot lately, but I'm going to say a 3-2 Ducks victory tonight against Winnipeg. So you got my jersey, you got my prediction. Go Ducks for the final time this regular season. I guess, of course, go Ducks the next 3 road games as well, but for the final time this regular season on my Ducks diary. Go Ducks. I will talk to you all after the game. What's up, Ducks fans? We just had a disappointing loss to end the regular season here at home. 2-1 overtime loss to the Winnipeg Jets. The first goal of the game was in the first period on the power play. Corey Perry scored it, and it was assisted by Ryan Getzlaf and Sami Vatanen. And then there was no more scoring until just over 3 minutes left in the third period. And the Jets tied it, and then they won it in overtime, so they got the 2-1 win. We picked up a point on the night, so we are now tied for first in the Pacific. We do still have a game in hand, so we control our own destiny. If we, we continue to control our own destiny, but if we lose in regulation on Thursday in LA, we no longer have our destiny to win the Pacific in our own hands. Even if we lose that game in overtime or shootout, though, we would still have the ability to win out and win the Pacific. But if we lose in regulation, then the Kings just have to win their last game to win the Pacific. However, any other scenario, us winning or us losing in a shootout or in overtime, we still have the chance to win out, win the Pacific. Or if we win even, then we're 2 points up, and we could just get 3 points the rest of the way in our final 2 games to win the division. So there's a lot of scenarios, but something that was cool, we got our Ducks PK horns, and the Ducks killed off all 3 penalties tonight, so that was fun. It was pretty hilarious. It sounded like just bees were like buzzing in Honda Center. So yeah, PK horns were a great success. Hopefully everyone brings them back for the playoffs, because we're probably not going to give these out again. So if you have it, bring it for the playoffs, because it was hilarious. Yeah, so the 7-Up minute. So this is something very, very random, but it was just something I've been thinking about this season, because the Ducks, 7-Up is one of our sponsors, and there's a promotion where if the Ducks score in the final minute of the second period, that a predetermined section within Honda Center everybody there gets a free 2-liter bottle of 7-Up. And so it's called the 7-Up minute. Like I said, it's always the final minute of the second period. And as the season was going on, we were not scoring in the 7-Up minute, and as it got late in the season, I started wondering, like, what are the odds of us not scoring in the 7-Up minute? And so today, in the second intermission, once we have not scored in the 7-Up minute all season, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do the stats on that, because I am a math brain, and I like to do random statistics that no one really cares about except me. So here's the deal. The Ducks scored 112 home goals this season, meaning we scored 2.7317 goals per game at home. And that means if you divide that out over 60 minutes, there was a 4.553% chance that we would score on any given minute. So then you take 1 minus 4.553%, and you have a 95.447% chance that the Ducks would not score in any given minute of the game. So in a single game, the odds of not scoring in the 7-Up minute is 95.447. So then you multiply 99.447% by itself 41 times, and you get the percentage odds of us not scoring in the 7-Up minute all season, which ended up being 14.799%. So there was about a 1 in 7 chance that we would not score in the 7-Up minute all season, and that happened. So good for 7-Up, because they didn't have to give us all, or a section anyway, all free 2-liter 7-Ups. So, but everyone did get a free 7.5 fluid ounce can of 7-Up on our way out if you chose to take it. So we took it, and it'll be our bittersweet end of the regular season celebration. So anyway, yeah, it was Fan Appreciation Night. There was a lot of fun stuff. Somebody got a free Honda Civic, I guess, and it was cute. They brought out big inflatable like rubber ducks onto the ice. To one of them had like the sign hidden, in it that like showed that person won the Civic. There were like 5 of them, and each of the 5 finalists chose a duck, and the winner got the car. And there were free giveaways all night. So it was a fun night. Besides obviously the loss, but the Ducks always do a good job with the fans. So it was a fun night. Besides the last few minutes. But now we go out on the road. We have 3 games rather in 4 days. Thursday in LA, Saturday in Colorado, Sunday in Washington. Good for us though. The Colorado game is an early game that day, so at least we get kind of a break, considering that's the back to back, and we get kind of a break there. But yeah, so this is weird. This is the end of the regular season, and I might make a playoff video right before the playoffs start, like saying, like all the matchups and who the Ducks are playing and whatnot. But if not, then the next video I make will be for our first home game here at Honda Center for the playoffs for this season. So thank you all for watching, and go Ducks, and I will see you all soon. What's up, Ducks fans? A quick correction. I accidentally said that if we win in regulation against the Kings on Thursday, that we just need 3 points the rest of the way to clinch the Pacific. Actually, we would only need 1 more point the rest of the way to clinch the Pacific. So just correcting that little mistake I made. Take it easy, and I will see you all soon. Go Ducks.